I want you to think about the unique model of old school brick and mortar, okay? An old school brick and mortar, you have, let's say, the Blockbuster versus the Netflix. What is eXp? And kind of where the journey has come. And I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen here, and you should be able to see this now. And let me see if I can figure this thing out. Yep, here we go. So this is all things eXp commercial. And the goal is to get more from your commercial real estate brokerage, right? What is your brokerage doing for you? And what I like to say is, are you on the left side of the quadrant or the right side of the quadrant? If you've read Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, he talks about being an employee, being self-employed, being a business owner, and being an investor. And eXp, I believe, has figured out a way to basically move you over to the right side of the quadrant, a business owner and an investor, by stock ownership, revenue share, and aligning with others who are part owners of a company without having to have massive overhead, all kinds of expenses, and a lot of risk. And they've done that through technology, and they've done that through innovation and leadership. Okay, so first of all, eXp Commercial is built on the back of eXp Residential, which went from a penny stock to over $150 a share over an 11-year period. In fact, it's known as the fastest real estate brokerage in the history of real estate brokerage. And so eXp Commercial is built on that foundation, and it's focusing like a laser on commercial real estate brokers, business brokerage, and also mergers and acquisition. So advisors there, okay? And its core values are here. But what I really want to focus on is that it's a leadership company, it's a technology company, it's a real estate company, but you can't put eXp in a box. It's truly something that's special, and how they figured out how to maximize value for you and me as the commercial real estate professional, as the M&A advisor, as the business broker, okay? And that's a powerful thing when you can when you can align financially and strategically your team, your profits, your marketing, technology, and so much more. And so let's dive back into the presentation here and keep this going. So I want you to think about the unique model of old school brick and mortar, okay? An old school brick and mortar, you have, let's say, the Blockbuster versus the Netflix, right? But eXp has figured out a way to scale like Netflix did versus Blockbuster, like Amazon did to Circuit City. And it's figured out how to do that by cutting out a lot of the overhead. In fact, they're 100% virtual. And they don't have huge expenses. And what they've done with that savings is they've passed it on to the agent. And so I like to say there's an old way and there's a new way to do things. Old way was Blockbuster, new way is Netflix. I use the same thing with capital gains tax solutions. The old way was the 1031 exchange. The new way is the Deferred Sales Trust. Circuit City, Amazon. And so eXp is kind of like an Amazon of the traditional real estate brokerage in that they are innovating and creating more and more things. You remember Amazon in the beginning? They just did used books, right? And then through innovation, technology, and growth, they've, biggest company, them and Apple in the world. So it's one brokerage and it's not a franchise. And it's important to understand that. It's an international company, but you're not having to put a bunch of money in or buy into it. You can't buy your way into eXp Commercial, but you can build your way in through amazing service to your clients, great representation, and creating loyalty and coaching and bringing others on to do the same. I remember being at Marcus and Millichap and feeling like every time I train somebody that there's a potential that I would hold back a little bit. Because in the past I would be burned because some people would either get a new position at CBRE or JLL or Cushman Wakefield, or they'd even compete in the same office. And it was a weird dynamic because, in fact, the model was stacked against us, and that 50% of most commissions, at least the first 100,000 of gross commissions, were going to be paid to Marcus Millichap, or the big brokerage, right? And that's great because I had an amazing training. I have everything great to say about Marcus Millichap. I love the company. I have a lot of good friends that are still working there. But financially and strategically, it's built for building Marcus and Millichap, not building it all for for us, and I say us as the eXp family, okay? So the typical franchise or typical brokerage has costly overhead, has desk fees, has franchise fees. It's locally confined. It's smaller referral network, like it's just Sacramento, or it's just Miami, Florida, or it's just Los Angeles area, right? It's not global, right? It's inconsistent growth incentives, minimal opportunities for ownership, and in fact, they don't necessarily give stock or rev share or anything like that. And also limited technology and support, few tools and support resources. Whereas the eXp model is cloud campus environment, no desk fees, and work from anywhere. Live training, over 50 hours of live hourly, 50 hours a week of live training. Real-time support, multiple brokers at a click of a button. International collaboration. They have over 17 countries now. And then powerful equity opportunities and revenue share and stock equity programs. Okay, and this is again, eXp has already proven the model. It's now the fastest growing real estate brands in North America, and over 60,000 real estate professionals. We think it's the fastest growing in the world. We can't quite track that for sure, but that's what we're seeing. And then, in fact, it's also been named by Glassdoor one of the top places to work. And I can say, after being with eXp for over a year, it's lived up to all of the hype. Okay, it's lived up, and in fact, it's exceeded the expectations for me and my team. And I've never been more excited about a company, about leadership, about the future of the brokerage world. And so we're growing. We have multiple team members across the nation, and we're growing. And we're taking all of the fundamentals of real estate brokerage, of adding value to clients, of solving problems. And what's neat about it is we get different people from different markets, different perspectives, and we bring that together in like a mastermind.